I slowly opened my eyes to see a vast black region of space. My body ached dearly as I heaved myself from the gray, smooth ground. The last thing I remember was that I was running from this man in blue with blood on my hands. I turned around, and the last thing I saw was a great flash, and then nothing. As I wobbled up, what I saw was a door. But how was that possible? There was no wall behind it. From where I was standing, it was just a gray floor and a black sky as far as the eye could see. The door was white, but it was covered in a crimson liquid, as if it was seeping from the door. It was like a beacon, calling me. I walked to the door with great curiosity, trying to ignore the aching of my body. The door was now completely ruby red. A puddle formed from under the door. As I reached for the knob, coated with blood, a flash of red, and a picture of a dead girl with a decaying face jolted in front of my eyes. I staggered back with surprise. That face seemed familiar to me, but I don't know why. I then tried to grasp the slippery handle of the door, when I finally did. And what greeted me, you ask? A room, but not any other room. It was vast indeed. As for what waited inside, bodies, decayed, bloodied, resting on wooden stakes to their chests. The floor, walls, and ceiling was made of stretched skin far and wide. Corpses mutilated lay on the floor with blood awash. Symbols of Satanism scrawled all over the walls. Chains dangled from above. One of them had a dead body hung from it, with its entrails spilling out. I then looked to my right to see a gallery of faces ripped from people nailed upon the wall, with horrified, contorted, twisted features. And then I noticed the corpse of a female. She seemed to be in her 20s. Her eyes had been gouged out, her intestines scattered by her. There were scratch marks by her legs, which indicated that she was raped. But the most odd about her body was the mark of the Antichrist on her forehead. It was scratched on there with a knife. I thought I knew who she was at that moment, but that quickly disappeared as soon as I thought of it. Could this have been the work of a Satanist? After investigating the dead woman, I looked ahead to see another door in front of me, a black iron door and industrial door. As I walked to the door, the skin floor with blood squished beneath my feet. I sensed the coldness of the door, like it has no soul. But as I get close enough to touch it, the door felt warm like a furnace. I turned the valve with great might. Fire, hatred, and pure evil emitted from the door. And then it all came back to me. The faces, the blood, the bodies, and the girl. I killed all of those people. That room was made out of all of my victims, all in the name of Satan himself. And then a voice, which sounded like two voices, and wind called me.
We are waiting.
I could hear it over the burning, even though it whispered to me. I then raised my arms, welcoming the flames. This is hell. A home for a psychopathic, satanic killer. My home, sweet home.